I'm going to make a reach so there'll be some shadows here. There we are. Come on in, folks. We see you out there, even though it's early in the morning, and a lot of us are getting snow on the ground as we talk. So welcome in. It's another episode of Comics by Night. Scooching my chair up here. Now we're going to take a look at the Metal Men, but before we do that, we're going to run our opening. As soon as I scroll down to it here. Not that one. Here we go.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with theory.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
That's right.
No.
None of the positions.
No, none.
Not one.
Not one.
I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. I'm here with Glenn Fleming and Russ Leach, and we are going to look at the Metal Men today. Metal Men. It's a property Russ had no idea existed.
I knew it existed. I just didn't. Well, actually, I didn't know it existed 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I'd kind of sort of brushed across it recently. But other than that, I didn't know anything about it. So.
Began in showcase number 37, 38, 39, 40 before they actually had 4 showcase issues before they started their own book.
What year was that?
There's showcase 37 where they're fighting an incredibly large manta ray flying through the air.
As you do.
The Flaming Doom, as they do. This was 1962.
Wow.
I grew up with the characters that are very much like the X-Men in that they didn't sell very well the first time they were out, and they kept bringing them back and bringing them back and bringing them back, and because it was such a great idea and everybody wanted to work on it, and it just never really caught on.
Sounds like modern comics where they bring it back and bring it back and bring it back, even though it isn't a good idea.
It's like they're just asking, "Are you sure?" all the time, isn't it?
Are you sure? Yeah. You know that this is what you really want.
We can do this really well. Whether you
no, it's not. That's why we're not buying it. Don't give us that anymore. We don't want it.
Well, the premise of the property is you've got Mad Doc Magnus, who creates a way of making robots out of metal using a special AI program called a respondometer, and the respondometer is a little faulty. So when he makes his first set of robots, they all have their own personality. And he makes these robots out of different metals. You have gold, iron, tin, mercury, and lead, as well as a female robot that's platinum. And they all take on their own personalities, and they can all stretch and do whatever they need to. There's platinum showing off her power.
Wow.
She should really be Mercury.
Doc Magnus. Mercury is a liquid metal. And since he's red, they colored him red. He's more devilish, and he's got a
red Mercury,
a more devilish attitude.
There's some work gone in that page, isn't there? On the right-hand side. Yeah. Look at all the editorial changes at the side. Look at them all.
Here, you mean?
Yeah, all over, everywhere. The whole thing. Yeah. It's another Stranko Shield episode.
Yeah.
Look at the way he's done the panels there. Yeah. So like down the left hand side, there's like little holes in the text.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, in the caption boxes. Yeah. This property has been around already for years. At the point that this was done in this is Metal Men number 45.
80s?
I believe so. I will have to check the exact date here.
Oh, it's really snowing there.
Again, we're looking at the Manhunter Walt Simonson edition. Metalman 30 or 45. That's all it says. It doesn't give a date. But Evil is in the Eye of the Beholder. Script is by Steve Gerber. Letters are by Walter Simonson. We'll also be looking at number 46, The Chemo Conspiracy by Gary Conway, writer, and again, Simonson drawing. Simonson was on the book for, I believe, 4 or 5 issues.
So he's lettered it as well.
Doing this kind of work, yeah. So I'm not sure of the exact date. Let's see if we can find a...
There's certainly a lot going on in that panel, isn't there?
Yeah, so he's probably taking complete scripts from Gerber.
Yeah.
This is a rare time that Gerber is working for DC. There's the credits inside there.
And Steve Gerber fall out with everyone?
Steve Gerber, as they say, was an odd duck.
Yeah.
Quack.
Yeah. And at the time also, how there was talk that the recreational drugs were incredibly good during that period.
Right.
Gerber was known for his unique. He had the formula for writing superhero comics down like the back of his hand, but he would always drag in the most oddest and strangest elements that you can possibly imagine. He ran the X-Men for quite a while, many issues. I would say a good 50 or so issues that he wrote. He created a group of villains called the Headmen back then that had a girl with an orb on top of her head instead of a head that could spring stuff out of it. And there was a magician guy who was, I think his body ended up getting transferred into that of a little deer for a while. A guy who had his head transplanted onto the body of an ape.
No, a magician that had his consciousness transferred into a small deer.
It's a little doe. Yeah,
that's brilliant. Definitely ayahuasca.
He is the creator of Howard the Duck, which ought to
there you go.
Yeah.
You know,
and was writing Man-Thing at the time that the Howard just walked in and walked off accidentally, and he got such fanfare they had to bring him back, so they stuck him in the back of course, Giant Size Man-Thing.
Of course, Giant Size Man-Thing.
Giant Size Man-Thing.
It's a joke in itself. It tells itself.
The most adult title Marvel ever printed. Yeah,
Man-Thing and Howard the Duck are two of the strangest.
Yeah.
Characters from all of comicdom, I think. I mean, obviously there are strange characters out there, but a lot of them are like, magic or so super science fiction or horror, like strange horror, but just the absurdity in the superhero universe of Howard the Duck and the almost sort of the way that Man-Thing pops out of nowhere. I mean, I presume there's an origin story for Man-Thing, but like I don't know it, and it's just really odd.
Man-Thing's
totally
origin
odd.
is pretty close to Swamp Thing's origin.
Swamp Thing. Well, it was obviously put out as a competitor.
Yeah,
but it's just such a strange story. Whenever you read the Man-Thing stories, it's so very odd.
Yeah, the main character was in the swamp in a laboratory, an out-of-the-way laboratory, working on recreating the super soldier formula.
Oh, right. Okay, that one.
And then he gets knocked into, his
Captain
lab
America
gets,
Part 5.
Yeah, his lab gets attacked and he ends up falling into the swamp with the formula. The formula drenches him, and then he falls into the swamp, and then he comes out as Man-Thing.
Right, so that's not exactly the same as...
Not exactly, but really close, yeah.
Russ, you'll probably get this, but that's like frying tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, frying tonight! Ooh.
We have a hand stuck here for no apparent reason. Just glued on.
He can.
Just glued on, yeah.
It must have been holding the indicia.
It might have been, I don't know. Very likely. It's been lost to time and bad rubber cement.
All rubber cement is bad. Let's face it.
Yeah.
That's very true. I've got dialogue boxes at the bottom of some of my original art envelopes that just fall off over.
I think he's used more whiteout on that page than he has black ink.
Whiteout and paste ins, yeah.
Yeah.
That's his white
somebody
out,
has.
He
pasted
likes
in.
that thing. I don't know what's going on there. Are they supposed to be metal or something?
Who what?
Those corner items.
Yeah, they're little metal clamps.
All right.
Metal frame here. A couple of bolts riveted in.
Was
Everything's meant to be metallic.
Rubber. You call it rubber glue over there.
Rubber cement.
Rubber cement. Would that have been our cow gum, Glenn?
Yeah, I think it would be. Yeah,
Might have been.
Yeah.
Cow gum, eh?
Yeah. Fantastic.
Well, you know, marketing. We need. It's glue. It'll be like rubber cement. Yeah.
Cow gum and spray mount.
Spray mount was a killer, wasn't it?
I used to have to go into a booth, and there was like a special extractor fan. So
we stopped that after about an hour. You have to keep getting up, walking across the studio, sticking your head in this booth, and then going back with a piece of typesetting that was dry before you got back.
Yeah.
So we just thought, oh, stop that. So we always got a tin of spray mount each and just, spray it everywhere.
You end up going home with all the hair on the back of your hand stuck up in.
Oh yeah, spray tack. Yeah. We had that problem here too.
Those were the days.
But I love the way Americans have different names for that. Spray tack.
Yeah. Well,
It sounds so much better in America, doesn't it? Cow gum or rubber glue.
Rubber cement.
Rubber cement.
Rubber
It's
cement,
like, I think rubber cement sounds better than cow gum.
I used to have some still around here in a big metal container. I hadn't opened it in years. It's probably unopenable.
It's probably solid.
Yeah. A little reflection off the light bulb here. Lead, who's the big, bulky, strong one banging into the volt. Mercury stretching here.
Got some
platinum.
Strong cheekbones going on there.
Yeah. That's lead. He was wide and strong. Iron, same way. Gold was the leader. And the cool thing, when Doc Magnus wasn't around, platinum was always the little girl, doing the stereotype girlish things.
Is that her neck? Is she stretching her neck?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, so she's
I think those are her breasts up here, though.
Oh, God.
It's probably her waist that she's stretching.
So she's the equivalent of Mr. Fantastic in Metal Men.
Oh, they all are. They can all stretch and they're pliable. But the cool thing about Metal Men is if you ever wanted to know any scientific fact about platinum, gold, iron, tin, mercury, or lead, they probably used it in the story.
Right.
That's okay. My melting point is such and such. I'll stand in the way. That kind of thing. So you learn your basic science metallurgy by reading issues of the Metal Men.
All right. Allegedly.
Sorry, my cat's going nuts because all the snow outside. It's banging its head on the window trying to catch the snow. Stupid animal.
This is more cartoony style, isn't it?
In here.
It is, isn't it? I mean, look at that panel 4. Look at the face on panel 4.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye straight away.
Yeah.
Look at that guy, especially with his chiseled nose.
Yeah, in the bottom left. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a property you can't take seriously anyway. But the majority of the early work was done by Ross Andrew, just coming off of a long run on Wonder Woman, and before he took a long run on Spider-Man. So they Ross definitely Andrew. Aren't. They're stretching and going all over the place.
You know that level of people I was talking about that weren't Kirby or Adams.
Yeah,
we were mentioning that off camera, so you might want to.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying that you look at because comic book art has not been given the respect that it's due ever. There are only a few names that sort of reach it, that permeate mainstream, that people might know, and probably the only one, two, maybe Jack Kirby and Neil Adams are the names that, if any normies, any non-comic book people would know an artist, and possibly Jim Lee. Okay, so maybe those three names would permeate, and then you can most of the reason why Kirby and Adams permeates outside of the boundaries of comic books is because they were genius level. You have Buscema as well. You, I think there's and obviously the older comic book artists as well, like what's his name?
Wally Wood.
Well, yeah, Wally Wood and the Eisner, Will Eisner. That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
Those names, and again, they're genius level. But
Yeah.
there were a top tier of artists that just their names didn't get out, and people kind of forget them a little bit. And that top tier is the phenomenal artists who just aren't hugely famous.
Mm-hmm.
And people like Gil Kane and Ross Andrew are in that. They're in that band.
Yeah.
They're in that band of artists who are just fantastic, brilliant artists, and probably don't get the same kind of love. Do you know what I mean? That the others get.
This is my first exposure to Metal Men was this book. They fought this character called Chemo, and what he was is he was the containing vessel. The scientists in a chemical lab used a containment vessel that looked like a person, and they poured all of their leftover chemicals in it until it animated the monster he came to life.
Sorry, but that is so Silver Age.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So in this book,
gurgle.
He ends up spitting out all sorts of different chemicals, and he spits out a chemical that cuts all the heads off of the metal men. They all have to scramble around and find each other's head.
That guy said, "That guy saying that's my head" on that page.
I have to. I mean, like this stuff from.
That's my head. Like,
sorry, Mercury. Yeah.
I have to say, I kind of prefer the stuff in the book that you're showing than the Simonson stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we've been fawning all over the
overdosing on Simonson last month. Yeah.
Simonson's. This whole thing is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This isn't Simonson at his best.
No.
To be honest.
No, it's not.
And you look at that bottom right-hand panel compared to even his earlier Manhunter panels.
Yeah.
I don't think he's enjoying this.
It says, cheer. Cheer. Yeah.
We're going to bring in Brian.
Oh, no.
Brian
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
The Fezmeister has come back. The Fezmeister has returned.
Thanks for joining us so early in the morning.
Thank you for having me. I see you're up to some good stuff here.
Always welcome. We are looking at Metal Men.
Yes.
Well, I'm looking at Brian.
Now you're looking at Metal Men.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little Tin here trying to be useful. He was the shaky one. He was the weakest metal. So he was always hiding or always he had a lack of self-esteem. So he was always trying to help out on the team as best he could.
Oh, his poor finger. Look what they've done to it.
His poor speech. He's got a stammer, hasn't he?
He's got a stammer to it, yeah. It's his lack of self-confidence kicking. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way he's got an L on his front because, lead.
That's their
that's like
metallic symbol.
G.
That's the metal symbol that they have. Just like the little devil look out here on Mercury, and Tin has got his own little, like, it looks like a 4.
Could you imagine having to draw that on every time? It'd drive you crazy, that wouldn't it?
There. They all carry it. Platinum's got a little symbol on her hat. There we go. Now we're starting to get into some.
Oh, this is a bit better.
Little better, Simon.
Perhaps he rushed at those other pages. These ones on this page is on the left there.
Yeah,
that's cracking. Bit heavy on the ink on the
Adams look there. Yeah, well, we
just middle panel.
It's just like last week we were looking at all that Captain Fear material. That was heavy on the ink line.
Maybe he just gets to the end of a bad brush, like, okay, a new one now. On the next panel, he's got a new brush.
Well, I think this was his style at the time. That he was just heavy in certain places. There's lead marking gold here. It's a little dot inside of a circle.
What year is this from, Randy? Is it
Neil Adams working
75?
here.
This from
I would
about
no, I
mid-70s.
would venture this is after that. This is probably 77, 78, maybe.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it oozes late 70s,
Yeah.
Mhm.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
I was saying earlier, maybe early 80s, but no, it is oozing late 70s.
This is a bit after Manhunter. He had done Manhunter. He did the Captain Fear and the Dr. Fate stuff before he did this.
I mean, that guy's face there on the right hand side, that's
Yeah.
1970s,
An
man.
incredibly large hand next to the incredibly small pen. Yeah.
Them 4 panels at the bottom there, just read it as a Dalek. Trample, raise, annihilate.
Stock Magnus loses his sense of grip on reality.
That's obviously the nurse there. Just like calling the doctor. We've got a terrible case of trans Dalekism.
Where's she disappeared to? The hands just
hands just like she's gone.
She's hiding behind
annihilated
that
her.
piece of paper.
Yeah, she's off camera on purpose.
He destroyed her. It's just he shot his ray gun. That was it.
It's nothing left but her hand. Ooh.
Those cheekbones look like they've got markings on, don't they? It's a bit heavy, aren't they?
Cheekbone.
Look at the cheekbones on
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy.
Oh yeah, they are like no his.
Oh, his, yeah.
His, look at his. It's like he's got
that's
markings
weird,
on.
isn't it? It
That's
looks
very
like
Adams. That's very Adams. So.
It looks like it might be some kind of I don't know.
War paint.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
He looks there like the Gibbs from Pirates of the Caribbean, the guy with the big mud chops.
Oh god, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are shadows, not sun.
Uncanny.
This still looks up very Adams to me here.
It does, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, lots of it. Yeah. Well, Adams was top at the time, wasn't he? He was like, he was it.
Maybe Adams did it in the office.
Could be.
That's quite an accusation.
I can't see Neil Adams working as a bullpen though. You know.
No.
Well, I know that they had an art room at DC. I know Murphy Anderson was there a long time, and there's a classic story about Bob Kane bringing in a page of Batman art, and Julie Schwartz, the editor, told him, "Well, you need to redraw this hand." And Bob's like, "Well, I'll take it home and have him draw, or I'll redraw it at home." Because, of course, he was using nothing but assistants at this time, like Sheldon Moldoff. And Julie is like, "Well, I've got a desk right over my corner of my office. Just sit there, erase the hand, and redraw it." No, I'll go out in the art room. I'll do it there. And then he comes back, and the hand is beautifully formed. It is just absolutely perfect. And Julie goes, "Now, this is what I'm talking about." And Bob goes on his way. About 5 minutes later, Murphy Anderson walks in and goes, "Julie, why did you want me to redraw that hand for Bob Kane?"
Yeah.
I got that story from Murphy Anderson himself. So
That's fantastic. I love that.
A little bit of white line zipatone here.
Yeah.
Nice little perspective shot, keeping things interesting.
Is it my imagination, or is Simonson doing the lettering too?
He is. Yeah.
I thought so. I always liked his lettering.
Yeah. Workman's great though too.
Oh god,
yeah.
Oh, he's
That's
perfect for him.
A lot of open space there. Freeze, don't move.
Hello.
Oh, I was Brian this time. Oh no, it was Russ. Here we go. Blam.
Blam.
There's something you don't see all the time. Sound effect underneath the word balloon.
Yeah. That's quite a nice effect, that, isn't it?
Tucked under, yeah.
I see a hand redrawn in the upper right.
Yeah.
Oh, right there, yeah.
Yeah.
A little hard time with them knuckles.
Well, if they just go to Murphy Anderson in the first place, it'd be done.
That's right.
I remember talking to an artist that when I was working at one place, and he couldn't draw hands, and I said to him, "Well," he said, "Where can I get reference?" I said, "Well, do you not have two hands?"
Yeah, just watch how you place the thumb. That's all.
Yeah. He said, "Oh, right, you know,
Yeah.
just look at your own."
Gonna have to hire a model. I'm gonna have to get this and that.
Yeah.
I gotta go buy a hand reference book.
Of course, this is before the internet, where you could just literally call up as many hands as you wanted in an instant. You know.
Yeah.
So
And anybody that does that deserves everything that happens to them, you know.
that's right. Yeah. That center panel on that right hand page, yeah, I'm on both pages. That center panel that you pointed out.
Mhm.
Sorry, the left hand panel with the face.
Here,
Yeah, and then the one on the other side in the center panel bottom grid.
Yeah.
Very lots of ink going on in there. Lots of dark.
Yeah, there is. Yep.
It's like he's fighting to find his style again, isn't it? You know, we said before. I think it was a Batman where it didn't look like he'd drawn it, and then we got those beautiful pirate series.
Yeah, the Captain Fear material.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, I'm taking it that this is after Captain Fear.
Yeah.
He seems to have lost his style again. Seems like he's fighting. Because that blam pan there with the gun, that's pure Simonson with that. The way the flame is coming out of the gun on the other side, on the other page, blam.
Over here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pure Simonson. That line work on that flash of the gun, but he seems to be trying to find his style again.
Well, again, he's knocking 22 pages here on a deadline, so he's figuring it out as he goes along.
Right.
Or the Captain Fear material was 10 pages tops. He could sit there and draw pilots all day.
Yeah, and he's lettering as well on this one.
He's doing everything on it.
And I just wonder also that, you know, maybe he's adapting to the kind of stories he's getting. Because, I mean, you start out your career working with Archie Goodwin, who's arguably, I think, one of the best writers and editors in comics history. And then you know, and granted, you know, the Captain Fear stuff was great, but now you're doing silly robots crap, you know?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I agree. I don't think his heart is in this as much.
No,
I agree.
I think you can see it. It's a job. He's doing it.
What's going on there? The left-hand page over the blam. Look at the right at the top of the page. Keep going. That no at the top, that top panel.
Oh yeah.
What's going on there? It's like they forgot to white part of it out.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the bottom right hand panel, the right hand page, bottom right hand panel.
Yeah.
The Metal Man in it.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that's crap.
Yeah.
His heart is not in that.
It looks like he's got a suit on. Does he?
I mean, when you see the kind of work that he does, the line work and the beautiful way that he kind of sculpts figures.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't look like he drew it.
No, his right leg, that knee around the knee, or what's supposed to be the knee.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's weird. It's just straight up odd.
We were just saying, Russ, I think you were on the phone or something, but
buy sell.
Yeah, I was just saying that he seems like he's forgotten his style again. He's trying to find his style again.
Again, I think maybe he's just exactly as Brian's saying. It's not necessarily his thing. It's brand new. It's not the quality of story he's been used to, and also maybe he's phoning it in. You know, even the best of us phone it in on occasion.
See that a quick chair, and he constantly is drawing plants like this in silhouette.
Yeah.
Almost like Chaikin here.
Yeah.
Little. I've got to put something up here. It's too open.
Yeah, you just chuck a bit of
Run
black
a line.
in.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that right-hand page, lower right-hand panel, you look at the leg that's in silhouette.
Yeah.
That looks right.
Yeah.
Whereas the right-hand leg that's visible, it looks like his kneecap is about a foot and a half off the ground.
Yeah, there's something not right.
Up a bit. Yeah,
but it's not just that. It's the shape of the leg and everything. It's just
but they're metal men, so it doesn't have to adhere to any.
No,
anatomy.
it doesn't have to. But I'm sure that
it should.
It should.
Yeah,
it should.
And I think what we're identifying here is maybe him not necessarily, wanting to know, or he just hasn't got the same passion for this project that he has for other projects. And you can see, I know it. I'm not in any way comparing myself to someone like him, but it does happen in your work. You know, you're like, it's not it's phoning it in, I think, is a harsh description, but sometimes you're on the clock. Do you know what I mean? And you just got to get stuff done. You know,
Maybe
you
you
haven't
have
got
4
time to
days
go
to
back
do
and
it.
correct it. You
Well,
know?
sometimes you need to eat too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a bad day, and it's like, I think that's the thing. A lot of because of the way the comic book industry has gone, and the excessive focus on almost pin-up work instead of or illustration, like pure illustration rather than comic book illustration.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the way that it's gone is that a lot of artists are like taking a long time on their pages, you know, which obviously, you know, some of the artwork shows it's fantastic artwork. They're taking a long time on their pages and what have you, and you can be affected from one day to the other. Okay, if you're knocking out 22 pages, pencil and ink in a month, okay, there's less likelihood, or there's more likelihood, I should say, of seeing the occasional dodgy page.
Yeah. True.
Because you know, you might have a bad day, you might be sick one day, you might have a headache, whatever, but you have no choice but to get that page done. You're on the clock. Okay.
Exactly.
Whereas nowadays, people might take 2 days over a page, or you know, if the higher end artists, certainly, who are being paid a lot per page, can afford to say, do you know what, I'm not feeling it this morning, I'm not going to ruin my artwork for it.
Yeah.
And you can totally understand if they're getting paid a good page rate because they're at the top of the tree, why they would do that, and why you don't see the same kind of. I know there are other reasons for this, but it's part of the reason of why you don't see teams working on long stretches of books anymore as well, because the kind of focus that's done for some of the artwork that goes into some of these books is just so intense. Although you could give an example of Alcala on Buscema and say, well, that's just shot my theory all over the place.
But those guys are unique, though.
Those guys, some of them, I see what you mean about unique, but there were a whole band of guys, you know, girls, guys, whatever, artists from back then, who they were just on the clock, and they got the job done.
True.
And so, you know, if look at. As much as we've just, you know, picked out a couple of panels and gone, well, his heart's not in that one. At the same time, look at the density of the work. You know, like he's knocking this stuff out. So if he has a bad day and on top of that, it's like it's not necessarily his favorite story. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You can understand why some of the panels are like, oh yeah, it's done.
And I'm
trying to keep himself occupied here too.
Yeah.
You have your occasional spot here and there that's just gorgeous. And then
that drawing is, I don't like that drawing of Plutonium Man on the left hand side. That one, it looks a bit rough.
He's got a very weird short torso.
Yeah.
And a large head. Very large hands,
almost apish.
But I see what you're saying there. It's very rough, isn't it, Glenn?
Yeah.
I'm wondering how quickly this was put together.
I know.
Yeah, but even, you know, and I sit here as someone who a 6-year-old can outdraw me, and I'm making criticism here. Even on a bad day, Walt Simonson is 1 billion times better than I could ever aspire to be.
I hear you.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, this is all relative. It's all relative. It's, you know, we're slightly more qualified than people who have no.
But if you watched our last episode and seeing there's a big contrast between this work and the Captain Fear material.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. You do have to look at the other episodes and the way that we've gone through this whole book, and just the quality of the artwork in the previous 3 episodes has just been astounding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in that center spread, the 5th panel, the center, the thin above the head there. Yeah. Look at, he's got that mark on his cheek again.
He's gone for the big broad cheekbone. Yeah.
You're looking at that illustration on the left. On the left, is it a marker? Has he filled those blacks in with a marker there?
Probably. It looks really broad, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Blocky.
I'd see. I'm torn between he's knocking this stuff out really quickly, and what you were saying, Glenn, about maybe he's trying to find a style again, or he's just experimenting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there are panels that you can see that he's just he's done what he knows works really well, like that top right hand panel on the right hand page. Top right. That one.
Over
It's
here?
like
Over here.
no, top right. It's like that's classic.
Yeah.
That's
Do you know what I
lovely.
mean? That works. His anatomy's good. You know, okay, it's a boring camera angle, but he's got all that stuff going on in there. And then the one beneath that Randy pulled out, the thin panel, you can see like he's going, right, I know how this works. Okay.
Mhm.
And then that plutonium man, he's gone, right, I'm gonna go at something different, maybe, or you know, I don't know. It's really weird.
I'm seeing a lot of shaking in there.
Yeah, really
Could
thick.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah, Chaikin was really knocking this style out real hard at that
Yeah.
at this point. Yeah,
Did they share a studio at the time?
wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know. I'll tell you what I like is on the right-hand page, bottom panel, that word balloon in the upper right-hand corner right there.
Yeah.
That is why I love artists who can letter their own work, like a Walt Simonson, Pat Boyette, Jim Aparo is one of my favorite letterers, period.
It's bonkers, isn't it? That.
It is, but he also he makes it a design
Yeah.
that you're not going to see from somebody who just does lettering.
Yeah.
Not that they aren't an artist in their own right, but you're not going to, you're
I-
not going to
yeah.
see that type. Yeah.
I'm not
John
brave enough.
Workman. John Workman's a great example.
I'm not
Yeah.
brave enough to do that kind of lettering on my own artwork, but I do like putting sound effects into the art
Oh, yeah.
rather than wait. I mean, obviously, I do put the occasional one on afterwards in when I'm coloring with Photoshop.
Sure.
That's something I tell
But
a lot
but
of
I
people.
love putting lettering, like it's sound effects into
Yeah.
the panels, into the art.
Oh,
That's what,
yeah.
that's
look
what
at
I
that.
tell a lot of people. You want to see sound effects? Go back and look at Jim Aparo, and they look at me funny.
Oh, my
but
God,
You go
you're
back
right,
and you
though.
look,
Yeah,
and it's just amazing the work that he does here.
yeah, it's
Incorporates
gorgeous.
it into the work.
Crack.
Yep. Boom, screech. Great stuff.
He
I
needed
pulled out a
Don
bunch
Martin
of
to
the-
help him, though.
bunch of the brave and bold.
Yeah.
Yeah, no flabadaps that I've
No
seen.
flabadaps. Yeah, see?
Oddly enough,
Bob Haney never wrote one single flabadap, and,
I'm sure
that's a black mark on his career.
it is.
Oh, that panel, the middle panel, top left-hand page.
Yeah.
That's almost Kirby-esque. It's,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yep.
And I'm
Again,
looking at the
don't-
lower left-hand corner on
No
that
background.
page, that
Yeah.
face, that whole
Yeah.
scene there. That's
Oh, here.
old Walt Simonson trying to fight his way back to the surface.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
There's that silhouette working again. Just a great big block of black there.
Yeah.
Looks like war
Come up
paint.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
That's so stylized. That's so weird. And he's
A
not
lot
doing
of
it on
shaking, like you were
everybody's.
saying.
Yeah.
A
But
lot
he's
of
not
shaking.
doing it on everybody's cheeks.
No.
It's
No.
just
No.
that character.
Yep.
It's got to be. It's got to be something. It's got to be a meaning to it rather than just deep shade.
He's got cheekbones that when it rains, you hide under them.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that Dalek again. Trample, raise, annihilate.
It's like Barry Manilow being able to smoke in the shower.
Not sure I catch that reference.
Yes.
I guess I'll. Anyway. Ominous, shadowy foreboding. Oh my gosh.
That is Simonson. That left page is
Yeah.
as pure classic Simonson.
Always loved their little ship that they traveled in. It's the yellow disc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
Tic
poor
Tac.
Tin. Poor Tin. He means so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to kill us.
So, do these guys exist in the DC universe?
Uh-huh.
Right.
That's I pulled a bunch of Brave and the Bolds. That's the other place where you see them in. They cross over
Right.
with Batman every year or so.
There we go. There's your lesson, Randy, at the bottom. But lead melts it. 327.5 degrees centigrade at the bottom, and the plutonium man can generate the heat of a nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
On the page.
On the left
On the left
bottom,
page.
with the spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was the fun of the old Metal Men for me. It's like every
Yeah.
now and then, amongst all the silly crap, they're throwing like real science facts at you, and I could convince my mother that it was educational.
Is that really a bad drawing of the Pentagon they're flying over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
There's some odd perspective going on there.
Yeah.
That character with the Pinocchio character.
This guy here.
Yeah.
Mercury? Yeah.
I absolutely loathe long chins like that.
Yeah.
I find, because I've been lucky enough to get to draw the Joker in a story.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
managing the chin is really difficult.
It's a Jimmy Hill chin, isn't it, Russ?
It's more than a Jimmy Hill chin. I mean, that is a classic look, but that just does not work.
It looks like that. It looks like that mask that they wear for that Halloween thing, whatever. That guy with the
ghost
face.
or whatever it is. Yeah. That's really hard to pull off. Do you know what I mean? Because
reminds me of Jay Leno.
Chins can't do that.
Yeah.
No.
Is that guy in the center of the page Nick Fury with a pipe?
No,
that's
Doc. That's Doc Magnus.
That's Mr. Deep Cheeks.
Yeah. He's evil in this story. He's
It
created.
looks like a cross between Nick Fury and Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Deep Cheeks.
Dr. Deep Cheeks sounds like a really good Batman villain.
Dr. Deep Cheeks. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh God!
Love the caption
Yeah.
here in the big splat.
We should
Usually
rename
you
this.
don't find that in conventional comics. You usually find that in more adult comics.
We should rename this show "Old Geezers Talking Shit"
Old
and comics.
I thought we already had.
Go on Sunday Funnies. We were old farts talking comics.
Oh dear.
Oh right, that's her.
See, he's lost his way again at the top. Those top three panels, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just also
Maybe it's
wonder.
just-
I wonder if he had assistants at this time.
Maybe it's just the first three panels of the day.
Yeah.
So I'm still
You know?
thinking it's Deadline Doom more than
Well,
anything.
this is why you don't start in the top left-hand page.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think this is Deadline involved.
It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Because he's such a quality. I mean, what you probably find he did this in like 3 weeks, 22 pages in 3 weeks, pencils and inks and
Probably,
lettering.
yeah.
Okay, and he knocked that out. It's like it doesn't. You can be as picky as you like about some of the art, but it's like he did it. He got it done. It got printed, it got published. It went out. It sold copies. Do you know what I mean? Well, maybe not with Metal Men, but he hit the schedule, and that's super professional.
Oh yeah.
And that's a hell of an explosion right there.
That's
That's beauty.
Yeah.
full on.
Little atomic.
Ooh, yeah, people melting and everything. It's great.
Yeah.
People melting. It's great.
Quote of the day, Russ Leach.
People
Can't tell
melting.
you how many times Magnus went through and reconstructed the Metal Men and still used the same respondometers.
Well,
Boom.
a world of difference.
Yes.
Oh, look at that on the right.
Yes.
And that logo.
Just instant world of difference. That's just
Yeah.
Oh, here.
bonkers.
Yeah. I mean, that's busy in a good way.
Yeah.
A lot's getting done in that page.
Again, not necessarily the Simonson we're used to, but
Yeah.
Very
it's
unique look
fantastic.
for a
Great
And I'm
unique
talking-
property.
I'm talking about style here. It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So poor Tina got killed, did she?
Oh, they all get screwed up at one point or another.
Yeah, well, they're in the graveyard there with that one.
He just remakes them. Yeah.
Oh
right.
yeah, and then Magnus here, if I remember correctly, it came off of a year's run of Mike Sikowski issues where the Metal Men got hunted and they had to disguise themselves as humans, and Doc was brainwashed into working against them.
Yeah.
You would have thought, that's Arlington Cemetery, isn't it? Arlington Cemetery doesn't look like that. There's a neat little that little building on the top that's near Bobby Kennedy's grave, but it doesn't look, the layout isn't like that at all.
Yeah.
And I would have thought they'd had a better reference on that.
The story is
Abraham
dedicated to
Lincoln in
Robert
that.
Kanigher, Ross Andrew, and Mike Esposito.
Yeah.
Is that
Whose
supposed to
creative
be
forces first forged
Abraham Lincoln at the back?
Yeah. Why have they all got top hats on?
Could be.
What's that all about?
It was a different world back then.
Yeah.
We all had to wear them.
70s. We all had chops and
We wanted those caved-in cheeks too. You know, those...
It's part of the reason the beaver population was chased off of Michigan. Some crazy stuff.
When I was in Dallas, a Dallas policeman asked me if I wore a bowler hat. I said no.
Why wouldn't you? Everybody wears bowler hats.
Everyone, yeah.
Everybody south of Watford wears a bowler hat, and everybody north of Watford wears a flat cap.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. This guy asked me if I wore a bowler hat and did it rain all the time. I said, well, it rains all the time, but we don't wear bowler hats.
And when I was 3 years old living on a farm, I was forced to wear a straw hat and keep a piece of wheat out of the corner of my mouth.
You know what? I can just see you doing that.
Yeah.
I rock the look, I'm telling
Your
you.
little torn trousers.
Did you build a shed in 2 hours with 15 other people? Right,
Holy cats, Glenn! It's like you were looking back at my life. Good God, it's uncanny.
Build the shed. Yes.
It's getting everybody to lift and move at once. That's the
yeah, that's the
trick. But we all had dinner afterwards.
A lot of cooperation. Big feast of great metal men.
The chemo conspiracy.
That's beautiful. It's like
lovely,
welcome back, Walt.
Yeah.
And again, we get to see that character that we were talking about earlier, that receptacle for all the spare chemicals.
I've got one of them.
Here's a flashback. You can tell.
On that cheery note, let's begin our handy dandy flashback.
There's a flashback coming out.
Yeah, for the subtlety challenged.
Venice. There we are.
Very nice.
Great silhouette here for a window, just to show you're inside, and then nice little picture there.
Yeah, but I'm looking at that left-hand page, lower left-hand pose of gold, I guess it is.
Yeah, that's weird.
What in the hell is he doing with his arm there?
What's going on there?
He's moving it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's moving it.
Well,
But is he dancing or what?
I'm
is it
looking
like a Bob Fosse routine?
I'm looking more at the middle of his body, where his legs join his body. That's just a bit weird.
They join his chest, don't they?
Yeah.
I was going to say, where's his hips?
That's hidden by his underskirt here.
Don't begin apologizing for him, Randy. I mean,
yeah, don't. It belittles you.
Such a nice up the nose shot here, though.
That's great. Yeah,
that's for Robert Kanigher.
Bit of Gil Kane nosy going on there.
Yeah, he's got Dr. Manhattan's marking on his head.
Yeah. Like you.
Yeah.
You see, that's why I've always wanted Gil Kane and Robert Kanigher to work together, because Kanigher always had those 3 panels where it's like, he's emphasizing how dramatic the moment is, and he always has the artist zooming in. And I always wanted to be Gil Kane because he did those great up nose shots.
Yeah.
And, like in the first panel, you're seeing up his nostrils. By the third panel, he's got the dialogue going, and you're seeing like straight into his sinuses.
Sinus man.
Great use of the edge of the panel again on that window shot.
Yeah.
Where he hasn't drawn it's just drawn the top of the window in silhouette.
And
you don't see the edge of the window. You presume that maybe it's the edge of the panel, and then the text coming in off the edge.
Yeah.
Just really nicely done.
It's nicely designed. And using the silhouette, though, lets you see the detail. It doesn't take away from the detail in the background there.
Yeah.
It's a great decision.
It's a nice panel in general.
Yeah.
Interesting forced perspective here.
Yeah. As opposed to disco gold on the previous page.
Exactly.
Disco gold.
And who is that springing in? That's
Travolta man.
Coming in. Mercury coming in from the other side.
Yeah.
Is that platinum back here? Something.
Look at that top panel there. What he's saying.
What, metal men? We've hit a dead end.
No, sorry. Left-hand page, bottom panel on the left, top where your finger, top on the panel where that. Look what he's saying at the top. Keep your finger going up.
Why don't you spit it out, Platinum?
Yeah.
Doc Magnus was crazy.
Must not comment. Must not comment.
Yeah. With a phony set of middlemen. Yeah. We're going to go through that on Sunday, I think. We're going to look at some covers that didn't age well or can be taken wrong today. There's a lot of those. I found
all
quite
in the
a few
mind
of
of the
them.
beholder. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm thinking of an old Archie comic.
Yeah.
That's part of it. I found an
Okay,
Elf.
yeah, you know the one I'm talking about. Okay, good.
Yeah.
don't
I
have
found
to
a cover
describe it.
to an Elf comic that's rather fascinating.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Alf's
I don't know if
back
I've
in pod
loaded that
form.
up yet or not. Or I'd show it to you. Let me see. No, I don't have it here yet. I've loaded some of them in already that we'll be looking at. You're talking about this cover here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the one.
that's the
That's the one.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk more about those as we go along. On Sunday,
Excuse me,
folks,
I was
Sunday,
looking at
9
Betty
a.m.
too. I was looking at Betty too. Excuse me.
Sunday funny. Yeah. Flashback.
Way.
We.
Looks like a cartoony Neil Adams right there.
So cartoony,
That's
isn't
nice.
it?
Yeah.
Speaking of pinups,
Yeah, the panel with the guy to the right of Platinum on the left-hand side. That looks almost, it reminds me a lot of John Byrne at this time.
yes,
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah,
he's doing
some-
Willie and the Chopper Bunch.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
some horrible disfigured combination of Neil Adams and John Byrne.
Oh, God,
And
yeah.
Deep cheeks. Deep cheeks. Yeah.
It's got the cheeks. There's the Dr. Deep cheeks and his big puppy dog eyes.
Yeah. How did you know that disguise was Dr. Deep Cheeks? Well,
Mm. Mm.
But hey,
Oh,
Big
she's,
eyes.
good
get a
lord,
chance
what's she
to do a little
doing?
bit of good girl work. There you are.
yeah.
Is in what she's getting on the top right there. That's like all the rumors from Blondie when I was a kid.
Oh, she's kissing everybody goodbye or what?
Mm, yeah.
Hot
Oh,
robot
happy-
on robot action there.
I'm happy to see
Clank,
everybody.
clank, clank, clank.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like the 1812 overture in there.
it says there. I've got a feeling Tina's changed, but into what? Debbie Harry.
Oh dear.
And look at that expression on Doc Magnus's face in the far right
Yeah.
center on the right-hand page.
Yeah, that's a great expression.
Holy cat.
Almost as good as the bottom left-hand expression. Look
Yeah.
at that looks like it is someone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 No, the major. Down the bottom left of the right-hand
Oh,
pane.
here.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that is very realistic in its
That
own
looks
way.
like it is
Yeah.
someone. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit like Jack Kirby in the center picture, but I think
And
that's just
I was
his
thinking-
cheeks.
I was thinking Carmine Infantino.
Yeah,
That could be.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
could be.
Carmine, don't move. Wait a second.
Yeah.
We just,
Look at that hand on that centre panel. That's the strange hand, isn't it?
that's a
Which one-
bonkers hand. That's a
Yeah.
hand
Yeah.
done very quickly.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like I remember where all the bones are. Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't. Oh no, I don't.
It's a little extended. Yeah.
He's still got his pipe. I love the fact
Hmm.
he's been shackled up in that machine in the bottom right hand side. And he's still got his pipe.
Yeah.
And it's always on the same side of his face, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He thinks he's
How do you know it's
Popeye.
Doc Magnus though without the pipe?
Well, because of the cheekbones.
Yeah.
As long as he's got his pipe, he's good to go.
Venice.
That is a nice drawing
That is.
I bet he took his time on that one.
that he did, and that. What?
There's a bit of a cross your heart bra on that one, and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
they're
Yeah.
spread wide.
Lifted and separated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that guy on the top left.
That is Adolf.
Yeah.
That is. Guest appearance.
Adolf's alive and well living in New York in 1978.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Just
looks like
wanna-
one of those classic comedian second-rate villains
Yeah.
from like the old silent films.
He looks like Blakey.
Look at
Boy.
that girl on the centre panel there, that on the fourth panel. How slim she is.
Yeah.
God,
Weight,
yeah.
look at that.
Bent.
It's like
Did-
it's sort of squashed in.
Glenn,
Yeah,
do you think he
Straight
looks
up and
like?
down.
Do you think he looks like the guy from Off the Buses?
Yeah. he does.
Yes, that's who I'm trying to think
Blakey.
of. Yes,
Blakey.
Blakey.
thank you.
Yeah, Blakey.
You
Oh,
you're
gonna
right.
get you,
My gosh,
butler.
this long.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you butler.
I'll get
Oh
you,
my-
Butler.
It's been so long since I've seen those. That's amazing.
You know what was funny on that program was those two guys, Reg Varney and the other
Ah,
guy. Well,
they
the blonde guy must have been the ugliest guy in the world,
Wasn't
but he used
he
to get all
ugly?
the women, didn't he?
That was the way they were like these horrible middle-aged ugly guys, and it was all right, love, and they were always getting all these birds, as I used to call them. It was, oh god, it was so 70s, wasn't it? Oh, look at you, Butler.
I watched part of Likely Lads last night, Ross.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on
God.
something. I don't know. It was really funny.
Oh.
Oh,
Anyway.
Well, they were the touchy-feely versions. Oh, excuse me, of on the buses, really.
Yeah.
That's
On the
right.
buses, they were geezers. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? You know, they were
Yeah.
horrible geezers, and they always wrote them as getting girlfriends, young girls, and
Yeah.
what have you. Whereas the
But-
likely lads were more touchy-feely, nice people who
yeah.
were just trying to do the right thing and got themselves into hilarious situations.
Marvy and Levi are live. I'm gonna say hello to those folks and hope they're doing well.
G'day, guys.
I just remembered to change my setting here. Great.
That's an
Halfway through the
unusual
program.
page at the top right there, where the letter in there. But let's look elsewhere for a second. You know, it's like
He's got little eyes in there.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, it's bonkers. He obviously felt that this was a bit tongue-in-cheek, didn't he?
I hope so.
yeah.
Well,
I
they
never see
can't
ours
take
as-
these characters that serious, can you?
No.
They're stretching and going all over the place. So, and by the way, Doc's pipes on the other side of his
Oh
head.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
Look
and
at
above,
Yeah,
and
just
above
for
that, it looks
variety.
like Peter Parker with a pipe now.
Yeah. Look at the
Yeah.
way he's drawing him there in the bottom left. That's got golden age.
It's shaking.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
it's
American
Yeah,
flag.
very much so. Very much shaken.
Bonkers.
Marv says, "Greetings, sinners. Russ, keep a book for me. I saw your comeback video. You know that I want one.
I'll
You had to
have
come-
one for you.
You had a comeback video. Catch
I
up
ju-
with you guys.
literally, I just came on just to say hello to everyone and show everybody the proof copy. It's at the printers now, so it should be with me next Friday, I think.
So
Oh,
only death
cool.
can save us too.
And Death Can Save Us too, yeah. But it's
Nice.
it's a limited run, so that's it. I've turned off the Indiegogo.
Okay.
Don't forget mine, Russ.
It's no yours. Well, yours is in the numbers, mate. Don't worry.
Brilliant.
So if you haven't got it on Indiegogo, certain people I might have a spare for them.
Catch up with you guys later on the replay. Going back to work. Keep
Yeah.
rocking. All right.
But
Marvy.
other than that, it'll be out to New Haven.
Great.
The original runs of Howard the Duck and Man Thing are everything I love about comics. They're just so bizarre. Yeah,
They are.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Metal Men and Doom Patrol have the same bizarre energy to me. Also, wonderful stuff. Yep.
Oh yeah. Agreed.
Again, I really didn't get into Doom Patrol either.
No, I didn't either.
I did. I just really liked it. Bruno Premiani did such wonderful art on that.
I'm going to have to go and find some collected versions of it or something so that I can give it a good look.
The
There are a
writing
couple
was-
of there's a couple of showcase presents
Yeah,
on
I
Doom
did.
Patrol that has that material in it.
I did get some Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
which was kind of okay as well. But
Which run of Suicide Squad was that?
I can't remember. It's a
Was
long
it the
time
John
ago now.
Ostrander one?
I can't remember. I can't.
Okay.
I've got like several. I'll have to flick through them. I've only got a few, but yeah, I remember enjoying them. I don't really remember anything else.
I caught a hardback at Ollie's, I think, for next to nothing. I think it's got a lot of Sikowski work in it.
Right.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have to go and find some more stuff. I've got a whole list of books to go and buy.
Oh,
yeah.
Brian, they had an omnibus clear out at Ollie's. I don't know if you've got one next to you nearby, but if you like Sikowski, there's an entire collection of Emma Peel Wonder Woman, Denny O'Neil and Sikowski.
Brian's
So
gonna have to go
I
to Ollie's
almost
today.
bought it because it was like $25. So
Oh my God, I'm gonna check that out. Thank you, Randy. I haven't been to Ollie's in about 2 months. My wife did not look at me with approval last time I went.
oh yeah, you come back with a box full of books. Yeah,
Yeah, when I like bring my van and the front wheels are like riding up in the air because I bought so many things. You know, we had that talk.
doesn't happen very often, but when you have to use a cart in order to wheel your books out to a car,
Oh yeah.
I did that once. I gave a lot of those books away at shows because they were so inexpensive. Gave them away as door prizes.
Oh yeah. One time at Ollie's, I got the entire Roger Landridge Muppet Show edition.
Lord.
The omnibus, yeah, they're incredible.
That thing weighs as much as an engine block.
Yeah,
but it's beautiful work. It's fantastic.
That's the only bad thing about them omnibuses is you can't read them on the John.
Oh God, no! Your legs
unless you
fall
bring
asleep.
a table in. Yeah. But I've got the first 3 Wonder Woman omnibuses that we need to go through one of these days.
Ooh,
I kept suggesting to Nina that we do some of these programs for the Indie Comics Network After Dark channel because there's some great adult material that or more adult material that I wouldn't mind going through and looking at like this.
That would be righteous, yeah.
And the first 3 Wonder Women, okay. All that Peter's fetish material is just incredible.
If you want to look at some After Dark stuff, you want to look at Druna. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah,
Serpieri.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some amazing artwork. Let's put it that way.
I've got an incredibly thick Tetchin book of all Eric Stanton material.
Right.
Oh, somewhere I've got the sweeter Gwendolyn with Steve Ditko art in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also might be able to cover Den. You know.
Big.
That's a good book. Elsewhere, is it called or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So one big thing one thing I remember about the Heavy Metal movie where he looks down and goes, big. Great spotting blacks here. You got to remember when he's using these heavier lines too. This is back when you used solid color on these printings. So you didn't have if you had a bunch of graduated tones over this, it just turned into a muddy mess.
Bottom right hand panel reminds me of Eisner.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I love that little patina off of all the lights on the right-hand page.
The camo out the background.
Yeah, it means, probably that I've got like glaucoma or something when I look at that, or cataracts. But it's so cool, so beautiful.
A couple of eyes.
Yeah,
it's a nice touch. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, the scribbling's cut back.
Yeah, look at that left on the tall panel. Look at the blacks on that. The lines.
Big blacks.
Really whacked in, aren't they? Wow.
That's just
tap.
But
doesn't that look like Dave Sim did that?
Yeah.
That looks so Cerebus right there. Tap, bop, bop, pow, 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 break.
Just a nice page in general here. A lot going on.
That's a
perspective here again. Yeah. Just great stuff.
Are those supposed to be wheels on that? The bottom
here,
there?
Right. It's like a little dragster.
Right.
Yes, like a Formula 3 car from.
Those are the anti-gravity receptors there.
Just saying on the previous page at the bottom panel, they're just like discs. Yeah. Is there a face drawn on that? Is that the girl?
Somebody. Yes, it's a metal person.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yep.
Yeah.
That's her spring right there. Yeah, that's got to be platinum. They're driving inside platinum. Yeah.
This is mad.
Oh, just that phrase.
Well, and I'm loving the term metal person. It sounds inclusive, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought I would be just for that one moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
I'll
many
go back
ways
to
to
my-
make you mark.
I was
I'll
going to say.
Go back to my silly old bastard persona now.
Break.
I love that. Tap, 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 bop, 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 bam, 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 break. That's just fantastic.
That's beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
what you call progression. Panel progression.
Yep. Oh, here we go.
That's more like it.
Traboom. That's a traboom. Oh, there's a little bit of gold in that car too, apparently.
That's gorgeous.
Come on. There he is again.
He drew a nice chemo, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But then I'm looking at the right-hand page. Well, I like Doc Magnus and the right-hand page. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't get the detail right. Get me the paint roller, Wheezy.
It's got to show it that he's threatening. So he's.
Oh
big.
yeah, that's sure. There we
Yeah.
go again.
Metal men, get back! If he hits you with a metal dissolving acid, well, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, chemo.
Yeah.
The only villain who gets you by puking on you.
Yeah.
So if it's metal dissolving, surely it's human dissolving as well. It's
Well, you would think so, but you know,
It's a comic book.
it's a
Yeah,
comic book.
Yeah, my wife is editing my current novel, which is based on a comic book character, and she's like, "This isn't how it works in the real world." I'm like, "It's comics, honey. It's comics," and she's not accepting that.
well, then you need to leave her.
I'm packing my bags now, Russ. I am so out of here.
That's good, solid life experience advice there from Russ. Leave her now.
Tune in
she's-
tomorrow for more advice to the Love Lord.
But she's allowed me to have a massive comic collection. Then stay, damn you, stay.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. She's put up with a lot of collecting crap, so yeah, it's kind of a balance there. This is an ongoing thing. This is an ongoing debate.
I'll
so.
let her off. Tell her I'm cool now. Tell her it's fine.
Okay, I'll let her know it's safe safe for me to stay now. Russ
I'm
said
good.
I gotta stay with you. I will take a picture of her tears for you.
So I tell everybody that's why the wife and I have been married for so long is because she can put up with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the size of it.
Yep.
When you
Wait.
find wonderful women like that, that's the only reason they're here.
Got to keep them.
They're really
Exactly.
patient.
No one else. No, that's many people have said that over the last 32 years. You know, it's like, well, who else would have him? So
Mhm. Exactly.
This book gets crazier and crazier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They really
I've-
are going mad on this one.
I've caught myself using the word bonkers 3 times already. This now 4 actually. Bit like the Spanish Inquisition. But it really bonkers is just about the proper
5.
word for all of this. 5. Thank
On
you,
the previous page, that guy says that somebody's gone insane, and I think these people producing this comic book have gone insane for 10 minutes because this is
extremely,
This
it's
is
extremely
mad.
meta, isn't
And
it?
what's really interesting, we're in the second story now too, which means this wasn't written by Gerber anymore. This was written by Gary Conway. And you want to talk about 2 writing styles that are exact opposite from each other.
yeah,
Where
that's true.
Gerber is absurd and crazy, Conway's conservative and straightforward most of the time. And here, because it's more the script, I'm sure that Simonson got was pretty conservative and straightforward. He's going crazy with this. I don't know if he's being creative or he's just trying to keep himself from being bored or what. But he's just knocking the walls out with everything. Chemo comes through, breaks out of the building. Well, you're not just going to get that. You're going to get this. Boom.
Yeah.
He's just like Russ was saying. He's just going crazy and creative here. That's a big difference from the previous issue.
Well, it could be that maybe he was looking for the absurd. It's like when I write, I tell people I like finding the humor in serious situations and the drama in comedy. I like that contrast, and I wonder if, again, mind reading from 50 years ago. It's like I wonder if Gerber's script was just so weird that if you're used to like somebody like Archie Goodwin, whose humor was a little more gentle and a little more subtle than other writers, and that you have this outright wackiness going on in the first issue, then you switch back to somebody like Conway, who probably shares more traits writing wise with an Archie Goodwin than he does, say, a Steve Gerber, and maybe this allows Simonson that latitude to, okay, this is a very straightforward situation. What can I do to jazz it up through the visuals?
Very likely.
Yeah.
Yep. Great sound effects here, the hiss and the crash, just phenomenal.
That's more like it. And
you're looking, from where I'm looking, I'm seeing very, very little whiteout.
Yeah.
There's none actually on this whole page.
Well, even the previous page
here.
Even the previous pages, I only see one bit of whiteout, really, and that's on the chemo.
Yeah.
Chemo.
Yep. I always pronounced it chemo. But what do I know?
I'm not saying I'm right.
Oh, what's going on there then?
Pasted in balloon here.
That's a nicely designed page.
Somebody got dissolved.
That's fantastic. Those bottom two.
How could he says let that be a lesson? How could it be a lesson? He's not around to learn.
No one touches Dr. Will Magnus.
Oh, and he's got his pipe away as well.
Not scum like you.
Unhand me. Boom.
You know that left-hand page looks to me like it could have been designed by Jim Aparo.
Yeah.
Because you've got that little continuity between panels 7 and 8 there. It's just.
And this on the other page, this is all Chaikin here.
Oh yeah,
early Chaikin.
Yeah,
definitely.
You saying they were in the same studio together?
I think they were. I think they shared it with Neil Adams. Was it?
Continuity? Were they part of Continuity Studios?
I think they might have been. I think they've both worked with Adams at one point or another.
Makes you wonder.
I know they weren't part of that thing, the studio where it was Barry Windsor Smith and I think Walt Simonson.
Yeah. That was the studio in general with Smith and Jeff Jones and Bernie.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
What I was talking about
I don't think
earlier,
he was part of that.
About being part of that. That's what we don't get anymore because comics isn't the big business that it used to be.
Oh yeah.
You don't get studios where you can learn the trade, where we can go in and work with other people of high standard that you can try and learn from.
Well, especially in comics, they're not getting paid enough to take on an apprentice.
No, exactly. No,
it just doesn't happen. Yeah.
No.
I seem to remember there was an interview or something with Chaikin, and he said that he was doing Flag. So what was that? 82, 83.
Yeah.
And he was on such a roll, and this will give you an insight as to the makeup of that studio. He was on such a roll that I think it was Simonson that he begged to stay, and he stayed all night working on this Flag book. And Simonson went home and did his work. He went into the office and took it home. So the studio. What I'm getting at is that the studio must have been very small, maybe only a couple of desks.
Yeah.
They didn't all have it. They weren't all sitting there at the same time, but they were using the same desk.
No, but it's the interaction I'm talking about.
Of course.
The shared energy.
There must have been a crossover there. They must have spoken to each other coming in.
Yeah.
I just remember Chaikin saying that he asked Simonson if he could, go home.
But
he would go home.
But that's why you see the trends in art that you see in comic book art. Though I've always said, and this is something that Neil Adams said, constantly quoting the man. Any artist that says he hasn't traced it or she hasn't traced it is a liar.
Yeah.
You trace what you can. You do what you can, when you're up against schedules and all the rest of it.
Right.
But there is, apart from like the super high quality artists, there's this sort of thing about, and I've seen it a lot in art posts and what have you, people tracing 3D characters and not understanding or not being given the space and time and the tuition from people who do know, like we had in those environments, of how sequential art actually works.
Right.
They're not just a bunch of pictures stapled together, okay, where you can go and copy a photograph or trace a photograph in order to have a person in the right place.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not the way it works. That isn't. And you can see, it's so obvious when you see traced work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it, you know, it might only be the lightest of tracing. I'm not even talking about people literally tracing the whole figure or whatever, but it's like, it's obvious that they've got a photograph of someone and they
just get
put
the
that into the
pose.
panel. And
Yeah.
it just, and you just look at all the panels and you say, well, you've traced every one of those panels, even at a very low level. You've traced every one of those panels, and that's not about the finished art, because everybody, you know, traces from one time to another, schedules and all the rest of it. It's the fact that the story doesn't flow properly.
Right.
You can see it;
Yeah.
it just isn't working.
I
There's
was
no
saying this.
drama.
I was saying this a couple of weeks ago on my podcast about that. About there was a modern day sort of, I think it was a Batman cover, and you could see, or I think I could see, that all the people on it were separate.
I saw the cover you were talking about because I watched your podcast. Yes,
Yeah.
And I see. I mean, it was a beautiful cover.
Yes.
It was from the latest one, wasn't it, by Silvestri?
That's
and
right,
he draws beautifully.
It does, yeah.
But I could see what you were saying about it. It's like every character seemed to have the same billing or the same visual space.
Yeah.
And it meant that there was certainly no story to it. There was drama in it, but it was just a scene. It was like, it looked nice, very nice, but it was extra. It just didn't have any, it didn't draw you in to think, oh, what's going on there? It's just a big fight. And that's, you know, I know that there's various views. I know what your views are about text on the covers and all the rest of it. But, you know, I did like the odd bubble on a cover and what have you, because the point is the covers were there to entice you into the story.
Yeah.
And something that happens in these pages, I mean, we can sit here and go, oh, well, you know, he might have been up against the clock on that one, or maybe his heart isn't in this story, but it's all so incredibly engaging. All of it, even the bits that are a bit wonky, and it's so engaging that it pulls you in, and it makes you want to see more and read more. Whereas a lot of comics these days, they just don't entice you in. And then once you are in there, they don't entice you to read anymore.
I agree. I agree.
And it's not just about the story. The whole point of comics is it's 50-50. It's the story and the art. It's the two together that makes it important. Now, obviously, I'm shallow and I just buy comics because of the art. But I just watch Michael Bay movies because there's big explosions. Okay, that's just because I'm very shallow. But I appreciate that comics at their core, that is what's most important, and not just about the text. It's about the art following
the visual medium, aren't they?
It's the visual medium, and that's why looking at these people is so important, and why it's so beautiful to look at, and it's so engaging, and that's what is missing, I think, in a lot. And it's not down to, I'm not blaming people for it being missing. It's partly the approach of the industry, the way that artists have been undervalued and also feared, a la Image and all the rest of it. But also that sort of the fact that because the money isn't there and we can't go to places to be part of a studio and learn from people who really know what they're doing, it's become a disparate industry. We're all in different places and we're all kind of on our own and doing the best we can, and unfortunately you're not learning from the best.
Well, I have a saying about that. I always say everybody thinks they can sing.
And
they can't.
I know I can.
I can sing, but everybody else can't.
So before we turn the page, I think this is a nice touch here with Doc getting dark and having him in the shadows here with his glasses.
Those four
Popping
panels there, those 4 panels are the best 4 panels in the 2 stories we've seen so far.
I'd agree.
They are fantastic panels.
And they tell a story.
I like the way he's looking into the next panel. Well, he's not looking at it; he's just watching.
He's kicking
That's
you over
great,
to
isn't it? Yeah,
I
I
like
didn't
that.
notice that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's
It's
there
Jim.
was a lot of Plastic Man, especially Jack
Yeah.
Cole, that I never
Yeah.
realized until I read Spiegelman's article on how much of a genius Cole was to sit there and look through the old Plastic Men's. That he would do that constantly.
Yeah.
With him stretching and making your eye follow the composition using Plastic Man and his stretching abilities. One way or another. Same thing here.
Yeah.
True.
Pizwang.
Attack.
That sounds like a medical condition.
Pizwang.
Pizwang.
If you have
Pizwang.
if you have Pizwang for more than 4 hours, please consult a physician.
Pizwang plop.
That
Tang.
is classic right
That's-
there.
yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
logo
Plop.
from
Oh,
Plop.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Patang Yang Kipperbang.
That's subtle advertising there.
Yeah, it is. That's the logo from the comic.
Plop.
That's hilarious.
They should have like worked in all the DC titles as sound effects. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of situation you'd get like Action Comics in there, but hey,
I always wanted to do that, do a superhero story where all the sound effects were corporate brands.
Yeah.
ooh, that's
Like
nice.
Spam and Atari and
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
Spam. Spam, 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 spam.
Exactly.
Samsung.
Exactly. Nice movement there.
that's a nicely designed page on the right.
Hmm.
I love that Plop.
It is gorgeous.
Again, the interest that's going on there, and also like there's no fear.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just
Yeah.
drawn. whatever he wants.
Obviously, he's
No.
using Pizwang.
Yeah.
You can't have any fear.
No, he's got a
The
Pizwang.
man without Pizwang.
A page with Pizwang.
Pizwang.
And
That's
it's
like
like,
very good.
how are these pages going, Walt? Plop.
Yeah.
There was a sketch on the TV about that. It was called Number Wang, and it was this bizarre quiz program, and all it had was just two people shouting numbers at each other, and then the compere would just jump in at the last number and go, "That's Number Wang." It was just quite a bizarre. It would have been so much better if he'd said Pizwang. But there you go.
Don't be a party poop iron. Pizwang plop.
Pizwang plop.
This is why there will always be in England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Better to have Pizwang than Pezwang. That might be a
I'm
a lot
confused as
bigger
to the
problem.
difference.
I've got an image in my head. I
Use your
for the
imagination.
sake of the show, I will not share.
That's true. Oh, there's a Bro-Wham coming up.
Wait.
Brace yourselves, kids.
Brace yourself.
Bro-Wham.
Bro-Wham. Take out.
And
Bro-Wham.
a couple of splips too.
Oh, they've combined. Look at that.
Yeah. Set up on a spring. Just beat
Look
the
at that
crap out
thick
of it.
line on that
That's
motion.
great too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's serious, isn't it?
Yeah.
As is the
Wow.
Bro-Wham. No
Yeah.
exclamation point though.
That's so
There is one on takeout.
cartoony.
That's
I went on
Bro-Wham.
slip.
This is a Bro-Wham that won't
Slip,
commit.
slip.
This has gone really mad. or madder, I should say.
Yeah.
Well, looking at this is what inspired the Powerpuff Girls, surely.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would say
Without
so.
it. Yeah.
It's a major inspiration for that.
Mhm.
With the doctor
they all-
and everything.
Everything feeds off of what
Right
came
the way down to
before.
the pipe.
Well, that's your typical scientist type. That's how you do deep thought. It's having that pipe. And sometimes a fez.
Yeah, of course. Hey, if you see me at shows, I also carry a pipe with me, so you know I'm a serious author.
There you go.
Nice.
Now, I don't know who that is in that last panel there. I don't see a pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we got a
lost his
phony Doc
pipe.
Magnus.
Oh, he's got it in his hand here. He's got it in
He's
his hand.
explaining something by holding the end of it and pointing.
That's
Yeah,
right.
There was a
He probably had it drawn here. There's a little bit of it
Yeah.
that's been erased. This bottom.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
feel,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I now feel
Yeah.
the need to
I can
buy
see a
pipe.
hand going in there.
You can see a pipe coming out right there.
Yeah.
I just love that sort of 50s crosshatch on his jacket. You know, this.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't
Simple.
try and make it look real. Just
Yeah.
put the
Yeah.
crosses in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
That's
that.
been
Vince
going on
Col-
this whole.
I wish I was brave
wherever
enough
he's
to do
around.
that.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
Vince Coletta kind of inking, you know. If you see his old backgrounds on Kirby
Yeah.
and stuff, you know, Kirby would draw every window, every crack in the building, and
Yeah.
Vince would just say, "Screw this," and just take out a straight edge and just start doing cross hatching.
I think the phone must have gone because he's missed a line out.
Yeah.
So Gary
Artist
Conway,
calligrapher.
writer, editor. So Simonson, artist, calligrapher. Co-production
Co-production.
based on characters originally created by Bob Kenninger.
It's his fault.
Yeah. it's always-
I take it back. I'm not very well after all. Maybe I am just a little nuts. It's great. Neil Adams like inking here,
Isn't
except for
it?
the mutton chops.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Just thin, thick, just beautifully done. And then how do you match that?
That's
Oh,
yeah.
man.
That is so
Or a
wonderful.
wham.
And that's
Bruh.
left, and all that's
Bravo.
left is tinkling sound of falling glass. All that's left is the tinkling sound of falling glass.
I'm into tinkling sounds now.
No.
So that's, yeah, I have to go upstairs and wham some bras.
It's a real bra web.
With
Now
a
we're in the
big
back
hammer.
of the book where we've got some pre-production drawings of Manhunter here.
Ooh,
Nice.
nifty.
More table of contents. You never get it right on the first time through. So
Yeah.
That's such a colourful costume, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah,
Took
they
the
did a
blue
lot
out,
better
though.
with the finished product.
I'm going
Yeah.
to I'm going to creep up on my prey in the stealth of night. Not in that costume, you're not.
Beware my primary colors.
And it's
Exactly.
like so it's like but somebody's bought Walt some colouring pens and he's got to use them all.
I have to use them, yes.
Somebody got the 64 pack of Crayolas.
Yeah.
And yet the cages around the calves were a constant here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Unquestionable, they were there. So, and I never thought that was impractical till somebody pointed it out to me. Why did he do that?
Yeah, and you know, you look at these and you see
looks
Walt
cool.
drew each and every one of them, where now, you know, they have those things in the back of the trade paperbacks of all the color choices. And you can tell it's somebody just loaded the outline into Photoshop and it's just click,
Yeah.
click, click, click.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't quite tell what that is.
I was going to say, whose script is this? Is this Gerber's or Conway's or whose?
I'm going back to the table of contents.
Yeah.
More easily explained for this nearly blind person. Goodwin's original typed script of the first Manhunter chapter, The Himalayan Incident, complete with notes by the author. These pages have been slightly reduced for publication.
Oh, okay. Nifty.
That's cool. It's original Goodwin there.
Uh-huh.
Something
Artists
artists
will
will
do
do this. Yeah,
Yeah.
artists will
That
do
is
this.
nice.
Don't put in borders. Top right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or balloon
See that?
outlines and sound effects.
Rusted paperclip
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
left behind. Yeah. Advertisements. Oh yeah,
Oh, that's a good one. How good is that?
That's so cool.
that's Goodwin's artwork there, or at
See
least
that?
Simonson doing Goodwin's
Yeah.
artwork. There.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic, isn't it?
That
Yeah.
that
It is.
cover on the right, well, the figure there and the cover
Mm.
on the right, that's just Simonson. It's just
Yeah.
instantly recognizable as he became.
That was the Prestige format collection.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
also had
that's
that
what's on the
at
front cover, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
front cover. Yeah.
It's just him. You can see it.
Oh yeah. It's a masterful piece there.
Hmm.
Nothing wrong with any of that.
It looks like a movie poster.
It
Mm.
does.
Yeah, like a good movie poster, not the crap one we're
Exactly.
getting now, yeah.
Exactly.
Standard
Nice
picture.
sketch. That's very
Yeah.
Neil Adams, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is contents page. It looks like this was probably the contents page for that issue of Detective, maybe.
Or maybe a different cover. No, it's too wide, isn't it? It's too wide.
Yeah. Let's go back to that.
Middleman? No.
Pin up from Who's Who, the definitive directory of the DC universe. That's what
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right.
that's a Who's Who for Manhunter.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the Golden Age Manhunter right there.
His Batman ears are a bit long there, aren't they?
A little
Yeah,
tall.
check them out.
He could stab somebody with those, couldn't he?
Yeah, Wrightson drew him like that in Swamp Thing.
But he'd be stuck, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
he'd be carrying the Joker around with him
Yeah.
horizontal to it, you know.
He'd stab them, and that'd be it. He'd be stuck. He'd be down there.
That was going to be the cover for the last Manhunter story that we looked at.
Right.
Mhm.
And then that was the
cover,
original
yeah.
Detective cover here.
That's such a fabulous
It's just
drawing.
beautiful.
You know,
yeah.
one of the things I love about Walt's work is his signature, because I really don't like signed covers. But
Uh-huh.
that signature doesn't offend me at all, because it's like it's part of the artwork. If you know the design of it,
Yeah, it's a dinosaur.
it's like
I
some
like-
artists just decide to put their name bigger than the title, and it's not about that, is it?
Yeah. I like Grell's signature too, because it looks like a
Yeah.
heartbeat almost
Yeah.
off of a heart monitor. This was done in 09. Yeah.
That's
So
really
good.
nice, the way that black beam brings you back to Batman's cape, and then
Yeah.
down his leg into that guy's face.
Mm.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
it's
Really
beautifully done, just all of it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's lovely, isn't it?
That's the tubing there. Yeah.
Have you seen the I didn't Walt do the Terminator versus RoboCop?
I believe he did. Yeah.
Yes,
Dude,
Frank
that-
Miller script.
Yeah, fabulous in that.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, yeah.
I have the original. I have the first print of that, the comic.
Thought you
The
were going to say
UK
original art then.
Oh no, I wish. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Metalman cover for.
Now that's a lot
Number
better
47.
than that's a lot better than the interior we've been seeing, isn't it?
And that's the cover for the first
Yeah.
issue that we looked at, Plutonium Man.
Look at that hand on that plutonium. That's a real Neil Adams hand, isn't it? With
Yeah.
holding the girl,
Look,
yeah.
look at
Yeah.
the way on Plutonium Man, the way that the blacks, okay, have so much shading around them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
unlike the interiors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's really crazy with this too is, other than Platinum here, everybody's making weapons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mercury's got a wrench. Lead's got a
Well,
chainsaw.
she's just a damsel
Gold's
in
got a
distress,
gun,
isn't she?
Yeah. Or Iron's got a chainsaw. Lead's
Yeah.
got a mallet. Oh,
Thor's hammer.
attacking. Yeah. All looking
Mm.
to attack. It's pretty
Just
hot.
like, there's so much shape in that. That's
Yeah.
almost got a bit of a Alan Davies feel about it.
Yes, it does. Yeah,
Mhm.
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially that guy on the left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
And now I'm envisioning an Alan Davis Metal Man.
That'd be
Yeah.
great, wouldn't it?
And
I
I
can
need a
see it.
cigarette.
Yeah. I could easily see that
some
done.
drugs.
And then Simonson's biography, and then a nice
Oh, look
picture.
at that.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Ooh.
Bats.
ooh.
Nice bats.
Yeah.
Nice everything.
That's like more like a sort of production artwork than a finished artwork, isn't it?
does
Like
look that way,
like a
doesn't it?
visual.
Yeah.
It's
very
probably
nice,
just
that.
because it's been blown up from like
Yeah.
a quarter
That's it,
page
exactly.
panel or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Very
gorgeous,
nice.
though.
Look at, I love the way Batman's cape's curling back on to get your eye to come back in. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
That is just great.
It's got that very alien feel to it as well, isn't it? When we
Yeah.
look to the alien book.
Yeah, and now after 4 weeks, we're finally through this book.
Right, let's go through it. Let's go through it again.
Gonna go through it again.
Let's go through the pirate one again. I just wanted to say that MG38 there that's firing at the bottom, nobody's pulling the trigger and it's firing.
Yeah.
That's a bit strange.
It's comic books.
Maybe.
That's
Or
it,
maybe,
exactly.
it's just a flash from the left-hand side. Somebody else is firing.
Sometimes you just have to let art flow over you.
Blah.
I have this too that we'll go over in a couple of weeks.
Oh, look at that.
Oh yeah.
Pick that up at Ollie's for a whopping $3.99.
Oh, why can't we have an Ollie's?
Yeah, get Ollie's over here.
And
Jeez.
this is worth doing an episode on, but we've done so much Simonson the last month that we need to cover.
We need a break, or we'll end up being addicted. Yeah.
We're going to be the Simonson show.
And yeah.
We'll do Kirby's 2001 next.
Yes.
Oh,
Do it.
Next episode. Next Comics
That's
by
a
Night.
giant size, isn't it?
Yeah.
Treasury edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a copy.
I do.
I hate you.
I've got a copy too.
And then when we have some time, I've got a copy of the Superman versus Muhammad Ali book too. That we can go through.
Oh yeah.
That would also be nice.
I think the 2001, the Kirby.
Yeah,
that's the one to do next.
That's a lot of cosmic craziness, especially early in the morning.
Cosmic craziness.
All right, that's it, folks. We want to thank everybody for stopping by for another episode of Comics by Night. It's a little early, isn't it? 1:36. So.
That's it.
But yeah, if you get a
dead
chance
air for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're dead air for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
No, we can end it early. Hour and a half's good. Hour and a half's good. If you get a chance, any of these showcase presents that you happen to find that I can't recommend those high enough. Those and the essentials you can't go wrong on.
Yeah.
But these artisan editions, if you can afford them and you're an artist and you love this kind of work, that's definitely a must. Good luck trying to store it. And make a bookshelf big enough to handle it.
But there's the because that's like the art. What is it? The Artisan ones are the IDW like magazine size ones, and that one you've got there that's the artist edition, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the This is the artist.
The artist editions are huge.
It's very big. Yeah.
But if you want to get a budget version, the IDW Artisan books are brilliant.
Yeah,
they're really well produced,
and they're not all of them are in paperback form.
No,
or else I would have a copy of this.
But so for instance, the Steranko one you had, that was the artist edition. It was huge.
Yeah.
I've got a slightly smaller version of that in the IDW
trade
Artisan version.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you want to get those and have at least an inkling about the artwork, those books do a really good job at a really good price.
Yeah.
So you don't have to spend 120 quid on a big book. You can spend 30, 40 bucks or whatever it is on an IDW Artisan version. And I have multiples of that. There's like Buscema, Remitter, there's Walt Simonson one. There's all kinds of stuff. So
I've got Jason's got a copy. He's offered to let us borrow of the Buscema Silver Surfer.
Artist version or the artisan version?
Artisan version.
So I've got the artisan version. So yeah,
I think it's about this, not quite this size. It's just a little smaller though.
That would be the artist version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at Rosema, if we ever get him on the air, he's got Forever People.
Oh wow.
he's got one of the Kirby artisan books as well.
Nice.
Again, folks, we want to thank you for popping in today. We had a blast going through this book. It's a lot of fun. So we'll be covering a lot more art in future episodes of Comics by Night. Make sure you tune in Sunday mornings as well, 9 a.m. for Sunday Funnies over on the Indie Comics Network. This week we're going to go through odd covers, I guess you would say. Last week we went through the Monster Society of Evil books. Sorry you missed that, Brian. It was
I've got it in my queue to watch, though. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
It's a lot of fun.
Mad.
Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
I just wanted to show this before I do that.
Well, you can
Rust.
do that too. There you go.
Yeah.
Look at
yeah.
We'll
that.
both go through that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Next,
fantastic.
next Friday.
Yeah, you can get me on the usual places, on these podcasts on Facebook, and all my work's on Amazon. You can pick this up from me if you're interested, which is beautifully edited, this book.
I love that book.
And I'm also the creator of Hatch, and you can sign up now on Indiegogo with regarding to this magazine, and if you do sign up, you get the chance to win an original piece of artwork from So there you go.
Do it.
And you can also get me in Comics Unlimited, which is my 100-page magazine that comes out every so often, every few months. And if issue 12 is due probably end of this month. So sign up for that. And Mr. Russ Leach is in there being interviewed.
Woohoo.
So it's worth it just for that. And Randy's in there too, and so am I.
Yes.
But otherwise, just get all my stuff on Amazon, and make me a rich man.
Russ, tell folks how they can find you.
Best place to get me is russleach.com. You sign up for my email list there so I can tell you about future projects. Also, if you can check out my Instagram profile, that I post a piece of art every day, whether it's archive work or new work. You can find me in the pages of Batman Magazine. Hero Time presents Batman Magazine in Europe and the UK. Doctor Who magazine as well. There'll be some more stuff from me there soon. Only Death Can Save Us book 2 is on its way.
Yay!
You can't.
Yes.
The Indiegogo is on its way out now. So if you have one today, I'm afraid you probably won't get one. However, it will be re-edited and recompiled for New Haven. So if you're on my email list, I'll let you know as soon as that is available for global purchase. That's about it from me. So yeah, just you can find out everything from russleach.com.
Great. Brian, thanks for joining us today. Tell folks how they can find you.
As always, thank you for having me. You can go to risingtide.pub, where it has a link to all my broadcasting, my various books and novels and anthologies. And you can also sign up for my insider email. There, it's a free monthly thing, goes around the first of the month. And let's talk about comics that you can't find a bookshelf for.
Look at that.
There you are. Yeah.
I mean, when size matters.
Woohoo!
Okay. And this is another Ollie's special here. All this and it's actually a fun story, but it's like $8 for this stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've just fallen off my stool.
I know, I had the same reaction. But anyway, also I do a show on Thursday nights called Comic Book Spectrum at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, where a bunch of us, people have leveled up several times.
Old farts.
Old farts, yeah, I might as well admit it. And I just had a birthday, so I'm an older fart now. So anyway, we talk about comics, we talk about issues in the industry, and we review what's out there right now. Also go to our Comic Book Spectrum page on Facebook, where we're going to get back into daily reviews of current comics and past comics too. So thank you again for having me. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you three, and my day is complete.
Always great to have you here. Yeah. And folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find me my work over at aerocomics.store. Go over there and take a look. Or you can find such books as HeroBot Zero that I do on my own, 3-foot-tall giant robot defending his city from large monsters as long as he can do it on the clock. We have a lot of Luke Stone's hybrids material over there that is also an Arrow comic, but I also have a book called Paragon that you can buy purchase over there. It's a superhero title I'm especially proud of. Plus another fantasy title called Calico that I'll be working on more of here in a little bit, as soon as I get past a few other projects that I'm working on. So, but you can find all that work over at aerocomics.store. It's all available there. So go over there and take a look. You can find us again, like I said, on Sunday Funnies, this Sunday, 9 a.m. over at the Indie Comics Network. We'll be showing off some crazy covers over there, some that didn't hold up very well, and some in different context at different times. But one of the fun about the Monster Society of Evil book was looking at those horribly offensive stereotypes that they used. back then. So anyway, we deeply appreciate you being here. See, Levi, thanks for popping in. Marv, hope you enjoyed. Folks out there, watch us archived over on the Indie Comics Network. Have some fun. Go over there and check out the other programming as well. Didn't get my sheet up this morning. Sorry.
I saw a Superman book back there. So
all the crap out there. Yeah, that's a metal plate.
Okay.
Old
Nice.
metal sign. Superman back there. Yeah, there's all sorts of. You don't want to look back there for very long.
Larky.
You look back there far enough, you can see all the bookcases. Or yeah. Anyway, folks, deeply appreciate you being here. We love doing this. If there's somebody that you want to see us cover, go over, take a look at, please drop us a comment, send us a note, let us know. Indie Comics Network says thank you, gentlemen. Always happy to do this. Always so much fun. Right, everybody. We'll see you soon. It's Batman.
See you later.
Russ,
just before you go. Russ, just before you go.
Mine's in the basement.
There you go.
Have you seen this, Russ? Have you ever seen it?
I've seen it, but I've never. No, I've not seen it all the way through.
Don't reprint
it's
it either.
lovely.
I've got to see if I can find some way to get a
copy of it.
I don't think they've ever reprinted that either.
No.
Because
They
of
haven't. None
rights,
of the 2000 ADs.
Oh,
It's
look.
licensed.
Or 2001, yeah.
Or 2001,
because of the
rather,
license.
I think they have the same trouble with the ownership, don't they? With
Yeah.
Some of what he did. There
Thanks,
is
Levi.
definitely some
We
Kirby
appreciate you.
inspiration in my book.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
Hang on.
Nice.
Got to blow that up. There we
I
are.
got to get me some of that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Lovely.
beautiful.
Definitely some Kirby in me.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
I hear you. Amen.
Levi. Today.
Levi's I need to go to Ollie's.
That's right. My God,
Yeah.
it's like a great rummage sale where you don't go in with a shopping list and you leave with like 2 carts full of stuff
just
you
be
didn't know
careful.
you needed.
Yeah. They had omnibuses there for $50.
Ooh,
Wow.
$1 or $150 omnibuses that are really thick. They had a Wonder Woman there. I had already picked them up though. $35 for $150 omnibuses.
holy cats!
Just unbelievable. They had Teen Titans, early Titan stuff.
Ooh, nice.
They had a Golden Age Green Arrow. I almost bought because it had so much Kirby in it.
Oh yeah.
All of the early golden, big, thick omnibus book. You know how
Ooh.
big and thick they are. Anyway, I got a couple of monster omnibuses that we can go through sometime. That would be fun to do.
It'd be hilarious. Yeah.
One that's primarily Kirby and another one that's primarily Ditko. Doing all those great old big monster stories that are
Do you know
phenomenal.
the size of those books? There's no wonder there's no trees left on the earth.
There you go. They were all printed over in
Allegedly.
China. They were just making room for more population.
That's right.
Folks, take care. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. We're getting snowed in here as I speak. So
Oh, sorry.
not quite as bad as California. So wish them well. Hope that be careful out there, everybody. That's not good weather to be caught in. So
No.
wish you the best. We'll go out as we go out. We need to go out with the classic words from he said scrolling up here. Oh, really scrolling up here. Where is it? Oh, it's gone. No, there it is. The classic words from Mr. Groucho Marx, who said, "Hey, outside of a dog, a book is man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read."
Science.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody. See you soon.
See ya.
That's what done, yeah.
And remember,
Doodles
The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent. Then I'm all gravy, baby.
she's all gravy, baby.
I can tell.
Actually being innocent. What does that mean?
And biscuits.
Yeah, biscuits too. Yeah.
Actually being innocent. We'll take a few bumps and go out with the opening, and we'll see you soon, everybody. Take care.
See ya.
Doodles Parmesan.
Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics to arrive in pristine condition? Head over to GeminiComicSupply.com and save 10% on your next Gemini mailer order or anything in the Gemini Comics Supply store. Use coupon code RAGIN10. That's RAGIN 10.
I hit buttons and they don't go through. It's just irritating.
Yeah, I'm noticing that.
You've not been doing it very long, have you, Randy?
No, not very long at all.
A couple of
years.
weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. Let's try it again.
Lockdown Games and Luke Stone Studios presents Hybrids, the role-playing game. This core rules to the new Base Plus 2 game engine allows you to design your own character and create your own homebrewed adventure, complete with charts, maps, and every resource needed to dive right into the Hybrids universe on your own, or continue where the quick play left off with a brand new module. Get caught up on the series with the Killing Field trade paperback, enhanced with creator commentary and behind-the-scenes information. This special edition gives you even more value and entertainment. All this and more on Indiegogo.
Go over there now, Indiegogo. That's Hybrids RPG, and also the Chrome Dog campaign is still up over at Indiegogo. Both of those are Arrow Comics brands, and they carry tiers on both of those campaigns to pick up more great Arrow comics like the Paragon book, the Calico book that we looked at earlier. So go over there, please.
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
You're winning, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Everybody out at once.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked? There's a market for that.
Always.
Yabba dabba doo.
Yabba dabba boobs. Yeah. Oh, where is it? There it is.
Turn it off, quick! Turn
Quick.
it off!
Find another video clip.
Pull the plug!
Look, everybody's entitled to be an idiot.
You pay and I'm kids cracks. I work too hard. I want my money back. You pay
It's become self-aware. Turn it off.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need
Never a charade.
total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with theory.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
How dare you?
Get off my lawn.